Hi everyone, I am excited to do the last video for you. So this is about adding animations to your Google Slides. And so we'll talk about in between slides having an animation as well as each individual item. So first off with actual big slides, you have to make sure the entire slide is selected. And then what you do is this right here. Mine says animate, yours might say animation. So we click on it and it pulls up this bar right here. So we are talking about slide transitions when we're talking about moving from one slide to the next. For my slide transition, let's say I want to do cube. Now, when you select a transition, you can actually hit play and watch what it looks like. So as you can see, that's what a cube looks like. Okay, so that's what we want for the entire transition. And I got to delete this first. Okay, for the entire cube. Now, with that, you can apply it to all slides. So if I say, yeah, I want to apply it to all slides, notice this little symbol that showed up. That means every slide, no matter which one, has the cube transition. Maybe instead you can go back and I want to do gallery. So let's apply it and see what happens. So gallery like that, where it just kind of goes from one to the next. Again, I have to hit stop and I can decide to apply it to all slides. I personally like the cube one, so I am going to stick with that. Now the next thing we're going to focus on is object animation. Now to do object animations, like stuff previously, you have to select whatever it is that you want to animate. So for this one, I'm going to select my whole entire narration here, and I'm going to add an animation. Now with these ones, they have lots of options than the slide transition. If it's coming in from the left, that means it's coming onto the slide. If it's flying out, that means it's leaving the slide, and I'll show you what that is exactly. So this, I am going to say that I want it to fly in from the left side. So I have it flying in. Next, you can say when it's going to fly in. So maybe I want it to be on click, maybe I want it after or with the previous, and we'll talk about those two in just a minute. So I'm going to say it comes in from the left on the click, and then how fast do I want it? Well, you can have it be super fast. So let's play it and watch it. There's my slide. I click, and here it comes flying in from the left. Perfect. I have to stop. I got that taken care of. Now, the next thing that I want people to see when it slides in is I want Superman to come flying in. So again, I've selected Superman. I click on Add Animation. Now, with him, I want him to fly in from the top right there. So I click Fly in from the top. And on this one, I want it to show after the first one. Well, if we look, my first one is this narration box. So the order that you see them on here is the order that they are going to happen on your slide. And so I want it after previous, and maybe I want it to come in a little bit slower. So let's play it and see how it looks. So it starts from the beginning every time. I click, brings that in, and then my Superman comes in, which is really slow. So I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want it that slow. So maybe I'll have it just kind of in medium. Okay. So again, I can play it, watch it, and see how it is with him flying in, which I think is good. I'm okay with medium. So I'm going to leave that. Now, let's say I want his words to fly in with him. So again, I got to make sure it's selected. I want to add animation. Now he is flying from the top, so I need to make sure this says fly in from the top. And then this is going to be with the previous. That means this one and this one are going to fly in at the same time. I have to make it the same as the last one, which was, I think, 2.5 seconds. And let's see how that works. So I'm going to play it again. There we go. I click. And then they slide in together. Perfect. So now that I've done that one, I can move on. So I have my 3 right here. I can move to my Batman. So my Batman, again, I have to select so I can add the animation. And with him, I am going to have him fade in like he's just appearing. And I want this to happen after the previous. I don't want it to happen too fast because I want to give people time to read. So maybe I want it to take 3-4 seconds. So again, let's see how this works. So switch to the slide, click, my narration, and then my Batman appears. Perfect. I actually like that, so I'm going to leave it. Now, my narration for my Batman. Again, I'm going to add animation. I have to scroll down. I am going to have this fly in from the right. So I'm going to have my Batman appear, but then his narration is going to fly in from the right. I want this to happen after the previous. And again, I don't want this to be too quick. And then let's see how this works. And there we go, flies in. Perfect. So I have all the animations of them showing up. And these buttons right here, I can move them in different order if I wanted to. If I'm like, wait a minute, actually, I want the words to come in first instead of Batman, or, I want Batman to slide in first. It doesn't matter. You can move those around like I just did. Now, the last thing is I want to show you the fly out. So great, I have it. I gave my narration, everyone can read it. And so now I want to get rid of my characters. So again, I have to select what I want to focus on. I'm going to add animation. Just give it a minute. My computer's a little slow. There we go. And then I want him to actually fly out to the top. And I do want this to be fairly fast. And on this, I am going to say on click because I want control over when people read. And so I'm going to play it and let's see how it works. So here we go, animations all on their own. Batman appears all the way, and then the dialogue comes in. And now I have to click, and Superman's going to fly out. Perfect. Now let's say again, I want Superman's dialogue to fly out with him. So I select it, add animation. It's going to fly out to the top as well. And it's going to fly out with the previous, so with the one right before it. So it's this one. And I want it the same. Let's see how this works. I have to click. Once I'm done reading, click and they fly out together. So that's kind of how you create animations. Now let's say you don't like an animation. If you select it, so this one's the one that's selected because it has the arrow pointing down, you can delete it. Say, never mind, I don't want it to come in. So for example, let's say, well, with my narration, I just want it to already be there, so I'm going to delete that one. So everything else will fly in. So here we go. I'll show you the difference. Notice my narration is already there. And then comes in my Superman and then my Batman. So this is, again, where your creativity comes in. Be creative, experiment with it, and see exactly how you want to add your animations. Now, you don't have to. It's not required. But if you want to play with this, I did want to give you that options to make it just that much better when it comes to your comic battle. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed working on this comic battle, and I really do look forward to seeing all of the creativity that you guys will be submitting. Have a great day.